I think as a creative, you always have to lean back to the core idea and thought. And as a creative, that's your main task. You need to conjure the idea, and whether that is an idea that stays pure to the intent of what you're trying to do. Is it a business objective, or it is whatsoever. As a creative now, especially, you are surrounded by a lot of different tools and techniques, different executions, and sometimes people get lost in the execution. Oh, I should do a metaverse thing. Oh, I should do an AI thing, but that's fine. I mean, but as long as you take a step back and always think idea first, and whatever the medium that you need in order to bring the idea to life, then I think you're good. Then regardless of 10, 20 years down the road, whatever new technology, robots that actually do the writing for you, you still need to come up with the idea to give to the robot, and then the robot can do it for you. I think there is still a global bias when it comes to Asia work, primarily because of the nuances gets lost in why an idea works for this region, why this idea works for that particular market. They get dismissed easily because it's not from a global lens. That said, I think the trick for Asian ideas to really shine is to, if you can still be rooted in an Asian insight, but executed in something that's globally relevant, then I think it works. Because sometimes, as much you want to give the charity of, oh, it's an Asian idea, you won't get it, I think execution still plays a key part, because it can be really deeply rooted in a cultural nuance in one particular part of Asia. But if you can somehow bring it to life in a way that someone in Texas would like, oh, that's a cool idea, yeah, then I think you shouldn't worry. I think it's the diversity. It really helps to. That's where the really unique ideas can potentially come up from Asia. In Europe and the rest of the world, in the US, one of their strongest bits is the craft. And sometimes the idea is, you've seen the idea, but the craft helps to push it. Because there's the exploring ways, but because there's only X number of problems or tensions. But in Asia, because of the diversity and how fast things move, it always creates new problems, it always creates new tensions. So I think we have that edge. Tapping onto that is something that is just how well the agency and the brand is able to recognize whatever the problem is and whether it's relevant to the brand. I think design is always such a difficult category to be in, because you're competing against really there's almost a subjective lens when it comes to design. But I feel great design shouldn't have that subjective nature too much, because sometimes then it only appeals to a certain audience. Design in advertising especially should always serve a functional need, a business need. And I think we kind of see that with the best of category for design. It was a very simple thought, in which the problem was that they needed kids in Japan to finish up their milk that's distributed during class time. And then what the design simply did was to add a manga to the bottle, which kind of forced the kids to finish the milk to look at the manga. And it was such a beautifully crafted piece. And again, the overall thought of using design as the key, the literal device that actually helped to solve the problem, was such a clear winner for us that it was quite unanimous when it came to the best of category. And again, it goes back to you don't get lost in the tools. Don't get lost in everyone's using this, blah, blah, blah. Sure, you can use new tools as long as it's relevant to what's the problem you're trying to solve. Yeah, if you can always stay true to that, then you're good. I think a special mention has to go out to, I think, the Airtel piece where they recreated a cricket match that was lost in I can't remember what year it was, but it was a very simple thought, because it was to demonstrate 5G, the speed of things, and with speed, processing power of things, they could actually create the tech to recreate the cricket show. And of course, people know cricket is a religion in India altogether, and the very fact that it was a nice use, again, as a tool, right? It was a nice use of modern tech with the AI merged with a very strong emotional hook that made it very relevant. Okay, that's why you used it. That's why you brought it to life. So I think that was a perfect blend of technology and emotional resonance. So I think that was a big winner for us as well. I think it's always nice to see an innovative use of a platform. I think that's one of the most difficult, especially in the era of live streams, online shopping, e-commerce, and what's an innovative way to make it feel cool again, like make creators want to jump on it, make brands want to jump on it. And I think we are slowly seeing that, but it would be nice to make those e-commerce bits almost sexy again. One of the key things with one show is the emphasis on being unbiased. So things like anonymous judging, to prevent lobbying, things like the allocation of time you're given to talk through the work. There's no limits to, in terms of, like some shows will, you need to award 3 goals or blah blah blah. But with one show, it's literally leaving it to the jury to make the call. So I think that almost gives a truer reflection of what deserves an award and what doesn't. So I think that's one particular thing. And I mean, the place where we're judging, beautiful hotel, you're in the middle of Shanghai, but you don't feel like you're in the middle of Shanghai. So I think these things help to, it's a very healthy environment to spark discussions, because it's a tiring process. You're sitting down the whole day and you're just absorbing content and discussing, and your mind is getting engaged the whole time. But they've almost looked out for you at every junction. So I think it's a very good shout out to one show.